What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 112 of Next Gen Newsweek. Happy post-Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone had a lot of good food, whether it was real normal American food or vegan-friendly American food.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all? What was your favorite thing you had on Thanksgiving?
Um, I made this like really cool like garlic, kale, cranberry, pecan mix kind of thing, and it was really, really good.
Nice. Richard, what about you?
Man, I am a casserole connoisseur, so I can't really put a finger on anything. But if it's a casserole, I'm gonna eat it, and it's gonna be great. So if it's Amanda's family, they're a little bit different. It's a little bit more traditional. But with my family, yeah, it's everything is a casserole.
Mm.
And yeah, we might as well just call it casserole giving or something cliche like that. Because I mean, literally, it's just all casserole, and I love it. It's awesome.
Beautiful. My aunt and uncle make a really good corn casserole. Probably one of my favorite things from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that the turkeys were deep fried and they were just so good. And my grandmother. What?
That's the only way to keep them moist. I hate oven roasted. Like turkey is dry as hell, but if you deep fry it, man, it's good.
Mm-hmm. And my grandmother makes really good chicken and dumplings that she brings over. And yeah, there was also a lot of desserts, and I tried really hard not to eat any of them. But my dad made a really good coconut cake, and oh god, I love coconut cake. That's up there. Oh yeah, I'm joined today by Richard and Chase.
Hello.
They know us by now.
Yeah, they know us. They know us. But unless you're new here, then you wouldn't know. You also wouldn't know my name's Mitch. But there we go. We're all covered now. We covered all the bases. Yeah, so light week on news. We're probably gonna just dog on Pokemon for probably a good 20 minutes. But before we do that, we did have some things that happened, like that we got a new trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie yesterday, which was I think it was a little bit longer than the first trailer. And I'm now 100% sold this movie is going to just be completely amazing. Like the whole thing with Bowser picking on Luigi and like yanking his mustache hairs out, perfect. I can watch. I can just watch Bowser pick on Luigi this all day. Make it its own series. Out of that, Chase, what was your favorite part about the Mario movie trailer?
Oh, I mean, I did love hearing Charlie Day as Luigi. That was great. I don't know, like everything about it looks great so far. I mean, I'm excited to see Donkey Kong smash up Mario. But no, it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Richard, what was your favorite part about the trailer?
Yeah, I think it's when you look at the whole thing as a whole, you had like a little bit that was kind of classic Mario. You had a little bit that kind of felt Mario RPG-ish. There was a little bit that felt like Smash Brothers, and then they threw in Mario Kart at the end. I mean, that's a lot. That's a whole lot, and that was just a trailer. So if they can really capitalize on those moments, holy hell, it'll be awesome when they do this Smash movie, and they bring the Sonic franchise in, and because I feel like they've planted the seeds, man. Peach is talking about how there's all these different universes out there. That Kirby and Sonic and Street Fighter, they're all out there, ready to beat the hell out. I absolutely hate the games. The movie would rock. Smash Brothers movie.
I mean, it would literally just be like a Nintendo Avengers movie.
Yeah,
and all they have to do is just start small, right? So they would do like a 64 type thing where it's Nintendo intellectual properties, but there's like some of them, like your Zelda, your Kirby, your Pokemon, put them all together. And then as they keep going, by the time they get to Avengers Endgame level, that's when you've got your Sonics, your Metal Gear Solid, Bayonetta, Fire Emblem, and Persona, and all the other shit coming in there. And then whenever the portal opens behind whoever opens a portal, Banjo comes out. And then, and then I jump out of my theater seat like a toddler and just start screaming at the screen. And all will be right in the universe finally. Yeah, so I think it's still set to come out in the middle of February too.
No,
I thought it was
April.
March or May. I thought it was an M.
Oh.
But I don't know. Like the end of that one just said coming
April
soon.
7th.
It's kind of ominous.
Oh, that's right. It comes out on my mom's birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I don't know how much faith I still have in that.
Really? It looks like it's almost done.
Yeah, but at the end of that trailer, it didn't say April 7th, 2023.
The
It
movie
just said
posters that went up yesterday said April 7th.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
No, it threw me for a loop. At the very end of that trailer, it just says coming soon, and I was like, oh.
Why is it? Man, why is this website I was using for a source not letting me get on it without paying $4 a month? Oh no. Wait, I think I might have moved it down far enough to where I can actually use it. Well, anyway, we got just a couple more months until that comes out, and I'm sure there's a new Mario game coming soon. It was so weird.
So.
It was so weird that they were like, we have nothing, like, this is a trailer for the Mario movie and not any future Mario titles. Like, they would, I don't know. I feel like they didn't have to put that in there unless there was like something cooking that they didn't want to bring up.
Right.
I feel like Nintendo's really excited about this film.
I'm really excited about this.
Because you know how they are about their first party stuff. So
yeah,
this is a way to move past that first film. So would this be like, is this a remake or a reboot?
I don't know.
What would you call this?
Yesterday I was talking to Quentin last night. He said, man, they haven't showed Daisy, they haven't showed Wario or Waluigi, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to be in this movie.
I was about to say,
they
haven't
announced any of those, like, as far as voice acting goes.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
They got to have a plot for the second one.
Yeah.
Bowser's going to be locked up in a jail cell. And I'm going to call it right now. Bowser's going to be locked up in a jail cell, and Wario is going to team up with Bowser Jr., and they're going to do something stupid. Nintendo, I just gave you your plot for the second movie if you didn't already have it planned out on like a gigantic dry erase board.
So now they can't use it.
You know that they watch our podcast and take our ideas. So.
Nintendo ninjas are about to come over here and break my kneecaps. How did you know about this? You a leaker? Well, I really wanted to jump to this F-Zero topic, but this website apparently is not going to let me look at it on my computer. So I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone because...
Eurogamer?
Yeah, it says you can't look at this without paying $3 a month.
Hmm.
It didn't tell me that yesterday. But pretty much the gist of this F-Zero article is that...
Oh, I know why. So I just tried to access it on my PC, and it's because I have an ad blocker on. It's going to cost me $3.99 a month.
Oh my god!
Or I can turn off my ad blocker, which I'm not going to do.
Here we go. I have it pulled up on my phone because Safari's superior, apparently. So pretty much, Did You Know Gaming, which is like a really fun YouTube channel if you don't already follow them. They did an interview with some Switch developers. Who pretty much kind of confirmed that there was a canceled F-Zero prototype game for the Switch featuring, it would have up to 32 racers at the same time, and it would always be 16 human players versus 16 computer players. And that sounds like sheer chaos, and I want it. I don't know why you guys cancel things whenever they sound like they're really fun. I've never really played a F-Zero game except for like on the Super Nintendo, which I guess that's like the original one, but like a high octane like modernized F-Zero game with 16 players on it. That sounds fantastic. Or 32 players sounds fantastic. And it's kind of funny that this came out around like shortly or like a few months after that guy showed up to the Nintendo investors meeting. He had like, what was it, like $60,000 in shares or something, and he's like, I want to know why you guys won't remake F-Zero. or make a new one. It's like they tried. They just they canceled it because they're meanie heads. Like that Star Fox racing game that supposedly existed that they canceled. Like I would have loved that. I love a good, I would say a kart racer, but there's only one good kart racer. So I would like a good Nintendo racing game. And Star Fox
Mario Kart.
That's a good kart racer. There are many who try to topple it, and none of them can do it. I'm looking at you, Chocobo Grand Prix.
I think Nintendo, for a portion of their company, they're bitches. And the reason I say that is because in that article that you referenced, the guy says that Nintendo is very hesitant and fearful of their own IPs, that they would rather just produce something new than to go back and do something. And he don't really go into details why. The only thing I can think of is that there's too much pressure that they might screw it up. But I don't know. I think that's a really lousy way to approach IPs that you've created that have fan bases.
They could, I don't know why they don't just do like they did with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They just outsource it to another company that like specializes in doing remakes. Even if those remakes are not that good, at least like they weren't terrible. They sold really well. So I mean, they could do stuff like that, and like Link's Awakening was outsourced to another company to do that too. I think they have like there's a specific team, like a Zelda team that only does remakes. So like I think it's called Grezzo or something. Like they did Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and then Link's Awakening, and I think they at least partially did Skyward Sword HD. I mean, they have a team that does it. So they could definitely have a team that just does remakes of their old games. Because, I mean, they still sell, like, I mean, Skyward Sword HD sold like 3 times more than it did on the Wii. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah.
There's people there that will buy it.
I don't disagree. I do think that they should outsource more, but they don't. So, I mean, it's... And I don't know why, because, I mean, it's not really going to be... even if it's bad, is it really at a loss for them?
I don't know. I mean, they have to be swimming on a gigantic pile of cash for the most part.
They have to, because they don't like money.
Because, I mean, they're the only console manufacturer that sells their system at a loss. So they actually or not a loss. They actually sell it they make a profit off of it. And their games typically come out and sell. I mean, we'll talk about it more in a second. But Pokemon sold over 10 million copies in 3 days. Splatoon sold like 6 million copies in 3 days. Animal Crossing, same thing. So I mean, they're raking in an ungodly amount of money, and like even if they have one flop, I mean, Pokemon should have been a flop, kind of. I mean, performance-wise, it's a flop, but like it's still, even word of mouth couldn't have stopped that from selling 10 million copies. Like there's,
yeah, as I say, it gets to a point where namesake sells it.
Yeah.
But again, that goes back to like if they were to like, do their other IPs, namesake would sell it. I mean, telling me that Punch Out wouldn't sell? Get out of here. It would.
I mean, yeah, think about like Metroid Dread was like the first new Metroid game in like 15 years, and it's now the best-selling Metroid game of all time. It ain't by much. It only sold, I think, maxed out at like 3 million units, but still that's more than any other Metroid game's ever done.
And it was decent.
I liked it.
Yeah. I was
you didn't even finish it. You sold it to me.
There was a poll in one of the groups I'm in on Facebook, and like it was like, what's the best Metroidvania game that's came out, recently, and it listed like a bunch of great games, but Metroid Dread definitely won, and like a lot of people were commenting, it was it was like, because the reason it won because more people had played that one than the other games. So
true.
Yeah, because of namesake.
Namesake, right? Yeah.
Because there's no way that would have been on top of the list. I'm sorry. It was good, but if you put it against others of the genre, no.
Well, I'm sure we have. I forgot where I was going to go with that, but anyway, Metroid Dread was a good game. There we go. We'll use that.
Yeah.
We'll use that as a segue. But
It probably sold really well on Black Friday when it came out.
oh, he did it. He segued for me. Look at him go. Yeah, we're talking about Black Friday sales next. Chase, you're the only one who had to work at a big box retail store on Black Friday. How was it? Was it still tame?
It was not as chaotic as previous years. It was busy, but just like, I mean, like it used to be like, I mean, you could not even move through the crowd. There would be so many people, but like, it was like, just like a constant flow of people. I mean, there were lines of people, that needed help, but I mean, like, it was nowhere near as it used to be. And I think all these online month-long sales are helping out a lot with that, because people don't want to go fight the crowd. People like don't want to take a chance. Like, if you order something online, you get it. Like, if you go to a store, you got to fight against other people, and you're. I mean, it's just like a risk. I mean, you may get it or you may not.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have wised up and are shopping online now. So
I don't blame them because you wouldn't have caught me dead in a Walmart or anything after dealing with that for 6 years and on the employee side of it, and then having to see like people getting fist fights and just obnoxious people. Like, no. But anyway, we have these are some numbers. They're from the UK, but I feel like they're a good like gauge of where most people are at as far as like what games that they bought for Black Friday. Lots of Nintendo Switch things in here. But number one on the list, FIFA 23, which that caught me off guard. Like, I know FIFA is very popular, and maybe it's just because the World Cup's going on right now. But yeah, FIFA 23, number one sold game in the UK for Black Friday, followed by Modern Warfare 2. This list says Pokemon Scarlet on it twice, but the first one is supposed to be Pokemon Violet. So if you look, Pokemon Violet is number 3 out of the top 10 sold games, where Pokemon Scarlet is number 6. It's kind of letting you know, like, most people are, it's like there's significantly more people playing Violet than there are Scarlet.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what the reasoning is. Like, did they look up the Pokemon in advance to see what the exclusives are? Or are they judging it based off of like the starter, or they just hate the color orange? Like, there's just who knows.
My reason was the legendary Pokemon that you ride on, because one walks around with wheels and then one rides around. So I was like, yeah, it makes no sense to walk around with wheels.
That is very fair. I wish so the legendaries are shiny locked, unfortunately, but I know someday someone's gonna have hacked Pokemon in this game, and I want the starter from Scarlet's shiny version if it ever circulates online, because it looks way cooler than Miraidon's does. So I would definitely be into having that on my team. Plus, it's really powerful. Like, it's one of the most powerful Pokemon in the game. Obviously, it's a legendary, but the thing's awesome. Anyway, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still in the top 10. But I mean, that's partial, and these are all physical sales too. This doesn't count anything digital sales or anything. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold enough copies to be number 4 in the top 10 list, and it was bundled with a Switch for Black Friday. I'm sure that's probably counted to this. God of War Ragnarok at number 5. Fantastic game. I still need to finish it. I just realized we didn't talk about what games we've been playing this past week. We'll get there.
We need to do that.
Yeah, you get there. We'll bundle it in with the Pokemon discussion. How about that?
Okay.
Pokemon Scarlet at number 6. Sonic Frontiers at number 7. I think this is because that game went on sale for $30 on Black Friday. Because, I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's enough people who bought it, but I don't know. I feel like it's because it was on sale.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch Sports at number 8. Just Dance 2023 at number 9. And Animal Crossing New Horizons at number 10. People are still playing Animal Crossing. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really would have thought that would have fallen off. Breath of the Wild's at number 11, jumped 426% in sales for Black Friday week, as well as
It was on sale too. I think it was on sale for like $29.
And then rounding out the list of things on here is the Lego Harry Potter collection at number 12 and the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. So
it's odd.
The Lego games?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, I don't know. It's not. Never mind.
People love them.
There's really nothing coming out. I mean, like the top 10 list is pretty much just everything that's out right now. That's any kind of lasting appeal. It makes me think of, well, no, that's a tangent. I was going to think of something that Chase had commented on.
Well, go for it. We're known for our tangents. We got to keep them going.
Nobody else will see this because Chase had commented on it on Facebook. It's not a part of our Facebook, but it was Chase. You probably know what I'm talking about. It showed like the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and it had like the dwindling. I think the caption was like it's hard growing up or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, it shows like the different like PlayStation consoles and like the library of games this person has is increasingly getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't know I didn't read the comments. I just saw Chase's, picture of his Library of Congress that he has behind him there. And I don't know I don't know if it was they were trying to make a play that, people don't have as much money or it's, it's harder to afford these type of things, or I don't know what that was. But to me, it's the lack of stuff coming out. And that's just absolutely insane. I don't think you think about how long it takes to develop and how stuff gets pushed back. I would like to see, if you go back and look at like all the main releases from the past 5 years and then kind of go back in time and see like what those numbers are like. I kind of feel like the whole gaming thing is creeping down to a crawl. And it's not necessarily like a money issue or anything like that. It's simply because there's not a lot of stuff coming out. As much as I dislike Nintendo, they probably put out more stuff over the course of the year than either console.
They have like one that I don't know exactly how their flow works, but like their whole goal was to when the Switch first started, they said we want to have one major first party game come out every month, and I think now it's slowed down to every 3 months they have at least one major game come out.
I mean, that's still some great consistency. You can't really be a fan of, think about like Fallout or Elder Scrolls. Like, what if you're a hardcore Fallout fan? What's the horizon look for you? Like 10 years from now?
76. You're playing 76 this whole time.
You're playing 76, which it's okay, but they added the pit. That's cool, but it's still the same map.
Yeah.
I don't know. And even like, I don't know if I should like throw like God of War stuff like that in there. Cause they try, but still, you're talking about years and years apart.
Yeah. I feel like whenever you are attached to one specific genre, you kind of will find other games. Cause like think for example, like you like in your thing with Fallout, like, yeah, it might be Fallout 5 or whatever it's called, maybe like 10 years away. We know, Elder Scrolls is coming out before that. I don't know the exact.
Yes, at some point.
At some point. And like, unless you're somebody who like only likes Fallout and doesn't care about like the other side of like with the Elder Scrolls, like if you like one or the other, that would suck. But if you're someone who like, I just like Bethesda RPG games, at least you got Starfield to look forward to if that's something that piques your interest. I would imagine by then the Outer Worlds 2 would be out, so you would have another game that's like that. And then it kind of helps bridge the gap between the next one. It's just not all made by the same company, I guess.
I was kind of hoping for like another new, because the Outer World people, they made the New Vegas, which was really good.
That's something that supposedly that they're behind the scenes working on. So, but we'll see. we're going to quickly talk through some PlayStation. They're having an end of the year sale going on right now. Some really good deals. I actually just saw one on here that really just blew my mind. So we're going to start with Tekken 7 Definitive Edition, which is nothing that I'd probably never actually pick up. But that game, it's the game with all of its DLC. It's normally $120, and it's on sale for $19 right now. So if you even have the slightest interest in playing Tekken, I would buy Tekken 7 Definitive Edition when it's $100 off. I really don't think it gets much better than that. Gotham Knights down to $49. Far Cry 6 has a Game of the Year edition, but I don't think it ever actually won a Game of the Year thing, so that's weird. But that's down to $47, or just regular Far Cry 6 is down to $19. I need to finish that game. I need to just dig it back out. Just get into it.
You, me both.
Mhm.
The 2018 Spider-Man game is down to $20 also. I see a digital deluxe version of Sonic Frontiers for $48, so I'm assuming that the regular game is like $30 or something in here. And a bunch of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, that's the complete edition of Valhalla for $48.99 instead of $139.99. So that's a pretty big sale on that one. And a couple more here. Found some of the good ones. Fallout 4, $6.59.
Ooh.
That's actually not like,
Mhm.
I would love to play Fallout 4 again.
I think it's on PS Plus.
Yeah, it's on extra tier. I don't have that.
It's also on Game Pass.
I'm a scrub.
Oh yeah, also that Plus Premium is on sale 25% off. I think that's still going on.
Oh snap. Resident Evil 2 Remake, $10. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, which is like all of the expansions for $20. And Uno is on sale for $3.99.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
Uno.
right?
Inkenfell. It's on sale.
Mhm.
It's only $9, $9.99.
Great game.
I don't know which one of these is the newest one, but the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes is $15 right now.
I think the newest one's what, The Devil in Me or The Devil Inside Me or something like that.
Oh God, the devil's inside me. Yeah. Skyrim Special Edition is $10. Borderlands The Handsome Collection $10. And to round it off, because why not? Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition is $6. I always wanted to get into Dragon Age games. Never got into them.
Mm-hmm.
$6 is a good way to get me to play something, though. All right. And our last news topic for this week, we have domain registrations. Everyone's favorite thing to talk about. For 4 new Mega Man games, Mega Man 12 through 15. The domains have been registered. I am not a massive Mega Man fan, but I'm excited for Mega Man fans to get a new game because I know it's been a lot of time since Mega Man 11 came out. And the person I got this article from mentioned that there might be some kind of 35th anniversary Mega Man special airing sometime in the near future where they might potentially announce a new Mega Man game. So, Richard, does this excite you? Are you a Mega Man fan?
I'd pre-order 12 through 15 right now.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that's one of those heirloom things. I remember being a small child playing Mega Man 2. So yeah, they always take, and I've got the collections they did of the first one. I've got the X series. I've got the other. I mean, anytime there's an anthology that comes out, I usually pick it up. So definitely, I'm on board for 12 through 15. As long as they don't lose what makes it special. You can try to add some things, but don't take away anything. I want classic Mega Man. You can add some little bells and whistles, but don't Breath of the Wild me. Don't take away what makes it awesome.
Tell me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like there was a really long time between Mega Man 10 and 11, And then there was this indie game that came up called Mighty Number 9 that everyone thought was going to be like a
Oh my God,
spiritual
you're gonna
successor
make
to
me
Mega
throw
Man.
my shit out the window. The problem is like, Konami, and I can't, I don't know the backstory. I don't know what happened, but it was about the same time that they got rid of the Castlevania guy. They got rid of the Mega Man guy. They severed ties with Hideo. The Mighty Number 9 was the guy that invented Mega Man. So yeah, everybody had these high hopes, and then oh my gosh, I have it. I didn't finish it. It's trash. It was so heartbreaking.
Oh,
It was not Mega Man at all, which I know it wasn't supposed to be, but it wasn't even remotely similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Castlevania guy went and he made Bloodstained. I think that Bloodstained is good, but I think the biggest problem is it's not Castlevania, and it's kind of hard to push something that's so similar, but it's not. I don't know. I played it too. I thought it was enjoyable, but you don't see that being talked about a lot. When it came out, it was like, oh, it's awesome, and then a few months later, they're just like, oh yeah, I remember that game. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm excited for Mega Man 12 through 15. They don't have the original Mega Man guy anymore, but he also made Mighty Number 9, so that's probably a good thing. Because I would hate for Mega Man 12 to be like Mighty Number 9.
Mm-hmm.
what if they actually just release one game and it's called Mega Man 12 through 15, and they just like, well, we had all these different Mega Man games ready, we just decided to put them all into one package.
A brand new anthology.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming.
The problem that it's not really a problem. It's one of those things where I'm kind of like, man, why? The Mega Man X series is actually my favorite. It premiered on the Super Nintendo and it stretched through I think PlayStation 1 or 2. I think it's about 9 titles. It never came to a close. There's still a story out there, and I would actually like to see another X game, but I don't know. With this, I think the domains are for Mega Man 12 through 15, which the Mega Man series is kind of like precursor to X. There's a time jump in there. So I don't know if you know the lore, but I don't know. Actually, it'd be cool if they somehow managed to kind of bleed Mega Man into X and kind of had like a little precursor. I don't know. This is definitely a discussion for Steven.
Yeah, you said the L word, and I was just like, "Oh, that ain't me."
Yeah. Anybody can talk Mega Man lore with me, it would be Steven.
Yep.
Who's got, I guess, COVID again?
No. He's got Android 19.
Android 19. That's different. We're wishing him the best.
Yeah. There's one comment on this article that says, in this era of glitch-infested launches, microtransactions, and live services, Mega Man 12 through 15 are some of the only games left that are safe to look forward to. They'll either be great or they won't come out at all.
Yeah, unless they're infested with like microtransactions and everything else, which let's hope not.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope we can one day put that behind us.
Speaking of glitches and shit, I got something we can talk about a little bit later when we talk about what we've been playing.
Sounds like you want to have a discussion about Pokemon.
No, y'all have at that. I don't get to play that till Christmas. I'm talking about another glitch infested gem.
Okay,
that had a surprising update that was supposed to fix everything, so I couldn't even imagine what it was like before that.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and just talk about what games we've been playing, and then we'll bleed that into our Scarlet Violet discussion. So, Richard, what game are you talking about?
All right, so I've been playing like Graveyard Keeper and stuff like that, but I'll keep this topic on the new Saints Row. I finally got it because it was a good deal on Black Friday, and they said that in the update they were going to have a voice pitch slider. And I was like, well, that'll fix my issue with not having a masculine British voice. It didn't fix it. I don't really know the point of the pitch slider. It doesn't change the pitch enough to really matter. But anyway, it amazes me how these people made the first Saints Row series. And then they made this. It feels like the first Saints Row in that it's really bucky. It just sort of, it's almost like they didn't know what they wanted to do, so they just started throwing things together, and they're like, yeah, that might work, which would be okay if this was like their first jaunt into it, but damn, you created the series.
Mm-hmm.
And you run into these issues where the characters aren't really that likable. Like Johnny Gat, everybody talks about Johnny Gat. You hear Johnny Gat a lot from the first one. There's no Johnny Gat here, or at least not to the point I'm at. I don't think he makes an appearance. I think this is a clean cut departure. But the characters are not likable, and I think a problem with that is they said that they were going back to the more serious tones, which Saints Row 1 and 2 were very serious, and that's when they started to go down that silly curve. And to an extent, it is sort of serious, but the dialogue is still hokey. It doesn't have bad voice acting. It has bad scripting.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one-liners and everything is just, it's awful from that point. But then bug-wise is weird because so far what I've encountered, and I've put maybe 3 or 4 hours into it, is sometimes when I put a map location, the game just locks up. And I gotta completely exit out, shut it down, and restart it. And then sometimes not the game itself, but customization options will not save. Like I'll spend 15 minutes changing the colors and working out this awesome outfit, and then turn it off and come back only to have like the original color scheme back on it. And it's like, oh, what the hell? And the same thing for the vehicles. I spent a lot of time and money customizing this one vehicle, and then I come back and it's not even in my garage anymore. And that's disheartening. And then you'll have like these, I don't know, the combat so far is really just you have a situation and you just have to survive waves. I mean, that's pretty much the long and short of it. But you'll have bad guys that, you have to, of course, you kill everybody in the wave to move on to the next wave or whatever, but you can't find them. And you're like, why aren't they coming? And you'll go around the building to the outside and they'll be locked in this run cycle trying to run through a wall. And then your presence doesn't even alert them. You're like right beside them with a gun to their head and they're just running against this wall. And it's like, oh my God. So the combat so far, and this is post fix. This is post fix. And then another thing I noticed is there's this empire table where you build your empire. And this is what you kind of coordinate where you want to build your different businesses at on the map. They give you access to it before it's introduced in the story. So if you go up to it before, I can't even think of the guy's name. His name doesn't matter. The little nerdy dude that kind of runs the operations. Before he talks about it in the story, if you try and access it, it just locks your game up. And you got to shut it all the way down. And so, man, I feel like, wow, these guys made the first franchise. Like, what did they fire literally everybody and just get a bunch of brand new tech graduates to, hey, y'all are going to make the new Saints Row? Because that's what it feels like. I feel like the mistakes that you see is so inexperienced. I don't think the game was ready to come out in February, and they pushed it to September, and I don't think it was ready to come out. It's not ready to come out today. I mean,
that's the problem with games nowadays.
Wow.
Is that they're not.
Wow. But look how long they've been working on it.
Yeah.
Like they need to do that. What's that? The undercover boss or something. I want to know what goes on and where all the time goes.
I don't know. Like it's
because even like the world it feels a lot smaller than like, okay, I can wrap my complaint up about the game really quick. Grand Theft Auto 5 is so much better, and it came out 10 fucking years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Understood. Have you been playing anything else?
I have discovered Slay the Spire.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has discovered
Slay the Spire. You're alluding to.
Yeah.
I have discovered Slay the Spire, and man, I got so excited. I got to the top of that, and I was like, dude, this game is fucking easy, but it's awesome. And I killed the thing, and then all of a sudden, I was at the bottom of another map, and I was like, oh shit. And I don't know how many maps it's gonna throw at me. I have gotten almost to the top of the second one. I'm still trying to work out, there's definitely some mechanics at play. I think that the Ironclad is like I don't want to say easy mode, but I don't know.
The robot one with the orbs, in my opinion, is the easy one.
Is the easy mode? Okay, I just unlocked him or her. I think the second one's I don't know. I've only played with Ironclad and the Whisperer. Is that the second?
It's like a rogue or something, or a thief class.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. I've definitely gotten a lot farther with the Ironclad so far. I have unlocked the one you're talking about. I've not tried a run with that one yet, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like I'm still kind of learning. Not a lot of cards you'll see, and it's like, oh man, that's a great card. But then, when you put it in your deck and you see like it, I don't know. There's some mechanics at play. I'm still trying to work out in my head.
There's a card in the Ironclad set I think it's called Berserk or Berserker. And it's a 0 cost card that does like the normal one does like 6 damage. But whenever you play it, it will put another copy of itself in your discard pile. So then you have 2 of them. And then if you play those 2, then you have 4 and so on and so forth. And in my Ironclad build, I have probably 7 of those cards. So eventually I'll just get enough cards in my hand where I just keep not having to use any of my energy and I just keep wailing on them. And it stacks up pretty quick.
I know the thing that pisses me off more is those enemies that put cards in your deck, slimed and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I hate like having a round and like you only have access to like 2 cards because the rest are all slimed.
Yep. There's a bunch of cards that'll get rid of all that stuff too. You just got to unlock.
It's man, it's fantastic. I like card games and stuff like that.
I did successfully back that game at the last second on Kickstarter. So
yep,
I'll have a physical copy for us to try out at some point.
Should be awesome.
Did you get it too?
I didn't. But here's the thing though. If I would have played the game before, I would have.
You should.
I definitely would have. So at this point, yeah, it's over. I'm just gonna have to wait until it pops up at GameStop.
Yeah. Chase?
It won't be yours. You got all the bells and whistles, didn't you? Didn't you get the...
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think so. Chase, other than Pokemon, what else have you been playing this week?
So, yeah, I did finish God of War last week, right before Pokemon started. Like when I think like last week that we talked, I thought I was like close to the end, but I was probably about like 60% through the game. But yeah, like no spoilers. Like the last game, like once you do finish it, there is like one final side mission. Make sure you do that. You do have an option to like keep exploring to finish up anything you didn't do post game. Like I haven't platinumed it because there's been some other things I've been playing, but I'm definitely going to do that. And I will say it's probably going to be my game of the year. The other thing I've been playing other than Pokemon. Like about 2 weeks ago, I saw that someone had gotten a copy of Callisto Protocol, and I was like, well, maybe I can track down a copy of Callisto Protocol, and I happened to find one.
Oh shit! So you've been playing Callisto Protocol?
I have been playing Callisto Protocol, and I didn't tell you guys, but I did finish it last night. Because I played it all weekend. I did finish it last night. It's very cool. It is very challenging. You really have to study your environment. You make sure you're using your surroundings and your objects to your advantage. We'll say the story does kind of start out a little slow, but you do learn more about the characters as it progresses. And while you do have like ranged weapons at your disposal, ammunition is fairly scarce. And then shooting a weapon is loud and it draws attention to you. So most of your combat is like melee and like dodge focused. I will say like, survivor horror games are not really something that I'm into, but I really had a lot of fun with this. And I hope this game is well received and I can definitely see sequel material down the line.
I am so jealous right now.
Yeah.
Like if I had,
when does that come out?
It comes out Friday.
Like if I had one game, I had the option to play early between Pokemon and Callisto Protocol. I would have much rather have gotten to play Callisto Protocol early.
Yeah. It looks really good. Like just, I mean, like I showed you that Twitter image, like the technology they're doing with the faces. Man, it looks like just incredible.
Finally, my camera autofocused again. That's great. Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet because they're a hot mess of video games. I love them though. They're probably one of my favorite Pokemon games I've ever played. But it is. It's something. It's something going on. So if you haven't been on the internet or seen videos yet on social media, these games they run like crap. They there's all sorts of just graphical glitches and things happen that shouldn't happen. My favorite is this player character's head spinning uncontrollably and it rotates in a circle and his arm is just going to spaghetti noodles. Beautiful. It is. Most people get mad at this shit, right? I find it super hilarious. Like I pray that my game breaks like this. I would laugh for so long. But until my game does it, I have to live vicariously through other people. And I think I don't know for sure, but I think part of the problem is the launch Switch version because I've been playing on an OLED and I haven't encountered like half of the problems that other people are having. And I know when they revised the Switch and then it's got the same hardware it's in the OLED, they didn't really like boost the power of the Switch, but they've optimized it. So like I don't know if like these people are having these problems because it's just a launch Switch or they're playing like with the hacked copies from like that they've pirated online. Well, you've had some issues, haven't you, Chase, with yours?
I kept a list of all the issues that I had, and that the list contains 2 full game crashes, clipping everywhere, even in scripted cutscenes, roaming Pokemon clipping through walls, floors, rocks. Pokemon I'm battling disappear mid battle, but still let me battle them. Just like incredibly slow frame rates in certain areas. My character disappeared, but my Rotom phone is just still on the screen. Like extremely pixelated like textures and like major storyline cutscenes. Like I don't know if you've been to like any of the star areas, but like the banners on the star areas are just like just giant pixels, so just look terrible. I got stuck in a wall and had to respawn. And lots of areas where just no music was playing. Like those are all my like major glitches.
See, I didn't other than like I got stuck on something one time. I was riding Miraidon, the little ride Pokemon, and I was trying to jump over a wall. And the wall had like a fence post on it, and I got stuck on the fence post, and then like Miraidon just started shaking rapidly, and then it just put me on the ground, and that was it. But like, you see, I haven't had hardly any of those problems. The worst thing that's happened to me, other than the Terror Raid battles, which I'll get in, that's a separate thing. I'll get in that in a second. But the worst thing that's happened is there's a specific fight related to the story that happens like right in front of like the Academy Hall, and there's NPCs that just walk right in the middle of the battle. Like they're just scripted to walk in the middle of these attacks. And there's one, and I had a friend who posted a screenshot of it, so I know it's not just me having this problem. It's like a character that's about the same age as your character, and when they get close enough into your like character, like where your Pokemon is, their entire body disappears except for their face, and their eyeballs disappear, and there's this ghost face just walking across the or just floating towards you. It's nightmare fuel. But again, like, yeah, I haven't had like hardly any of the problems that anyone else has been having, and I'm jealous. I'm so jealous of that. Like I should be playing this on a launch Switch and calling it a day.
But yeah, like I said, like I mean, I had so much fun playing it. Like I mean, like the idea and everything about this game is great, and the way they executed it is, I mean, the way that everything is set up is great. But like the way it runs is just awful. It's just terrible. And I sent you guys that article about the the monolith that made Xenoblade, and like how they should team up with maybe the Pokemon Company or Game Freak or whoever, and like work on the game with them. Um, because like Xenoblade on the Switch looks great. I mean, you can see stuff in the distance. I mean, there's great texture there. I mean, you can see like creatures like, in the far, not 10 feet in front of you and there's pop on the screen. And you see stuff like far off. I mean, there are humongous areas. Like I spent like one whole day just searching around this entire area, finding all the cool stuff, and I didn't even find everything in the whole day. I mean, there's still, I mean, there's they could just they could have done so much with Pokemon, any Pokemon game, and I feel like maybe I don't know if they needed more time or what, and I don't know if the multiplayer aspect had something to do with the limitability of the textures or whatever. I mean, that may be something is causing to slow down. I don't really know, but I mean, like I compared that game that came out. This game came out 10 years ago, and then this game, came out this year. It's just like there's two different screenshots. The games look very similar. It's kind of sad, but
I think
yeah,
I listened to a lot of like other gaming shows just to see what other people's thoughts are on some of this stuff. And a lot of people who know a lot more about this than I do seem to think that these games were originally planned to release on whatever Nintendo's, whether it's a hardware revision or their next system is. So they were planning, that system was planned to come out by the time that Pokemon was going to come out. Obviously, it had more horsepower in it. And whether it was due to like the chip shortage or Nintendo just decided that they weren't ready to release it or whatever, but the Pokemon Company is on a 3-year schedule. Every 3 years there will be a new Pokemon game. It is like clockwork, and it's not easy to move that stuff around because they've got to do merchandise, they've got anime, they have to do trading card games, they've got all this other stuff that they've got to do, and it's all set to happen at a certain time. So under that logic, Pokemon was never going to get delayed. Like, even if that game, it barely ran. Like, if it ran worse than it did now, it was still going to come out on November 18th. And so, I don't know, it's unfortunate that that's the situation that we're in. It's more unfortunate that you're having to cover your face because the sunlight is just beating into you. It's unfortunate. We'll try to wrap this up soon. But, yeah, there's still great games, and the multiplayer, it's fun, but like it's also stupid. And now I'm going to segue and talk about these. I don't know. Have you done any Terror Raid battles yet?
Yeah, I've done some. I've done a bunch of, but I haven't really done the online ones. I just did the solo ones. I did like a 4-star, and then I haven't messed around with like anything above 4-star.
Okay, so here's the thing. So all the raid battles are classified. They're on a scale between 1 to 7 as far as difficulty goes. Most people would be able to do up to like a level 4 raid by themselves with bots. That's pretty much where it's going to end at. Level 5 raids, you might be able to do them if you have like the right team and then the NPCs are helping you, but you really need other people to do these. And when you're playing online with like your friends and like where everyone's in the same region together, hanging out together. The best example I have is me and my friend John playing. Like, we don't have 4 people that are running around together with us, or 4 people that are all ready to do like 5-star raids or higher. But if we find a crystal we want to do and it's just the 2 of us, I can't add him to my game and then go add random human players to my game. Also, the game cannot figure that out. It just won't happen. If I try to add him to my game without him being in my game, there's no way to specifically allow him to join and then other people to join too. So it's either I get to play with my one friend who's at the same level with me who could probably handle this raid and 2 bots, or we just don't get to play together. It's just there's no way for us to do that. And it sucks because right now, like, I'm doing 6-star raids, which require you to have Pokemon that are like in the 90s. And you need to have like maxed out stats, and you have to come up with like real strategies for figuring out how to do these raids. Like, one person needs to be the attacker. The other 3 need to be like doing status effects to the terror raid Pokemon. And trying to get that kind of communication through the Switch Online is just, it's awful. Like, there's no way to communicate that stuff. And starting on, I think it's Thursday, there's a 7-star raid for Charizard getting ready to drop. And you really have to communicate with people to make this happen. And it's, I don't think it's going to happen because, like, I found the most luck doing terror raid battles when I'm not playing with friends. When I'm trying to fill people to join it, is playing late at night, because everyone in Japan who actually, like, they play the hell out of that game, they're all ready for these raids, and that is the only time I ever get people to join that actually know what they're doing. And so right now there's a lot of really good strategies about how to take down level 6 raids pretty quickly, and they're involved like this new futuristic version of Hariyama who's called Iron Hands. He's like really powerful, and having 3 of those and the box legendary for Violet, like they all just work together, and you'll get these people playing. Like if I went in there right now trying to do a terror raid battle, I would get some little Timmy or something who's not leveled up for 6-star raids. He's like, I'm gonna play with my favorite Pokemon. And it doesn't work. We will always lose. If one person breaks the cycle with what we're supposed to do, or breaks formation, we will lose the raid. Because every time a player character dies, it eats away at the clock, and it just keeps going. If an NPC were to die, it doesn't eat away at the clock. They could die all they want to. But if 3 people are over here like buffing each other up, because like the goal is like, because they've got like a massive health bar. On 6-star raids, they have 25 times their normal health, and so if you get them down to like a third or a quarter of their health, or take off a quarter of their health, they'll put up this gigantic shield where you have to, like, it just takes forever to bust through it. But if you can hit them hard enough one really good time, you can take away their entire health bar before they put that shield up. So if you're sitting there trying to just stack buffs to hit them one good time, and you've got some other person over here who's just chipping away at them not following with the team, then they put their shield up and it just ruins everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm off my tangent. If you don't know how to play Pokemon like that, just don't do the 6-star raids. We're not here to carry you. So that's just where I'm at with it. Unless you're a friend of mine that I know, and I will let you borrow one of my level 100 Pokemon that you can use for the raid. But that's it. It's like, I don't know. God. Anyway, real quick, 2 other things with this. Actually, just one more thing. Chase, what is your favorite new Pokemon?
Oh, I like the Graveyard Houndstone, or was it? Is that the one? Yeah. I put him in my party, so I put him like at the bottom of my party. So if my party does get wiped out, he's got that last respects thing, and he just wipes out.
That Pokemon, because of that move, has been banned from competitive Pokemon. There's a way to like buff its attack to times 600 with that move. Like, oh my god. I think Houndstone's a really cool Pokemon. I have 2 favorites. My actual favorite is Tinkaton, because it's this little pink fairy with this gigantic hammer, and it's Pokedex entry, so it kills Corviknights by knocking them out of the sky. I think it's just funny. And then my second favorite one, I named mine Minecraft. His real name is Garganackle, and he's only there because his name is Garganackle. It's just, he's a gigantic rock salt thing. Like gold.
Oh yeah, that one looks super cool. And apparently it's really powerful.
He's very slow. I got one. They'll have like these shiny. You've seen them, like where they'll have like the Pokemon on the ground that are glowing, and they have like a different. It's kind of like a raid, but not a raid, where it'll have like the different Terra types. So I have one that's a ghost type. So he's really cool. But yeah, I don't know. Just. The game needs some work. Everyone's like, when are they putting out a post-launch patch for it? And I was like, I don't think they are. They might. Who knows?
I mean, I'm sure they're going to fix something, but there's way too much to fix.
Yeah. Last thing, I also skipped this at the beginning. I'm going to quickly go through all the games coming out this week. We already talked about the Callisto Protocol. Also coming out on Friday is Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I know at least one person's excited for that too.
It's getting a lot of good reviews. Like it's saying that it's a very surprisingly good.
Yeah. And Warhammer 40K Darktide comes out tomorrow, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners comes out on Oculus Quest and PlayStation VR on Thursday. Yeah. So I guess it's also tomorrow. But anyway, that's pretty much all the big things. Well, actually, yeah, because the rest of these have already came out, so oops. But anyway, I guess that's all we've got for this week. We're not doing 20 questions this week because we're down a person, and yeah, we're just going to skip that. So do you guys have anything you would like to plug before we wrap up for today?
Yeah, check out those PlayStation sales. Also, a lot of companies do end of the year sales. Those will probably come out toward the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for those. I know GameStop is doing 25% off of any in-store clearance games. So check your local GameStop if you're looking for some physical games.
Yep. Also, I don't know the exact date it starts, but the Epic Game Store is going to be giving out one game every day for a certain period of time.
Best Buy is also doing a new deal every day. So then they'll start at midnight Central Time. I think today's deal was 10% off of PlayStation cards.
Nice. Richard, anything you want to plug?
I just let people know that the Elden Ring board game on Kickstarter has 50 hours.
Oh man, 50 hours.
50 hours remaining. You're looking at, if you want everything, you're looking at $500. I mean, it's pretty heavy duty commitment, finance and time. They're boasting a 90-hour campaign, I think is what I said. So, I'm going to sit this one out. I don't know. I've got mixed. I didn't have the same reaction to Elden Ring that a lot of people did. So I do have the Bloodborne board game, and I would enjoy that. But yeah, 50 hours left from right now for the Elden Ring board game. There are a lot of it's going to go retail in about a year from now. Of course, the benefits to doing Kickstarter is you get it cheaper. But also there's some Kickstarter exclusives that are being offered during the campaign. So I don't know, if you were a huge Elden Ring fan, which a lot of people are, and you like board games, you might want to check it out.
Heck yeah. Don't forget that the Game Awards are happening on December 8th. So in about, I guess right at 8 days from now. So, or I guess that's next Thursday. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I have to work as of right now, so we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. I don't think it starts till 7 anyway, so we might just be if we do something, might be a little late getting going. Or I'll try to take the day off. We'll see. But other than that, thanks for everyone for watching or listening to the show. And we'll be back next week with more stuff, and hopefully I'll get around to finishing up our Game of the Year plans by then. Because I've put 45 hours in Pokemon, so I'm kind of just, I need to find something else to do with my time.
Somebody was up to 3 in the morning playing Pokemon.
Yeah, that's why we're recording late today. Ugh, God. I forgot to set an alarm this morning. I just happened to wake up at 9:45 or 9:30 to Mitch is ignoring us. I was like, oh, shit. Just happened that way. All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.